Hi, my name is Mario Plakta. I'm studying finance at MSU. Um, I'm going to be a junior next year, and something that I carry around every day or wear is my cross necklace. It was given to me as a gift years ago, and I've worn it ever since. So I began watching Angels in America today, and for my first vlog, this will be the main focus point because unfortunately, the gentrification of the mind hasn't been delivered to my house yet, so I'm unable to vlog about it for this one, but I'll talk more about that on Thursday. So, with that being said, let's get to it. The first thing I noticed when starting Angels in America is that the intro had a very angelic feeling from the point of the view of the camera. It was flowing through the clouds in the cities and finally ending at a close up shot of a statue of an angel that slightly moved once the camera became steady. With that alone, I felt that this series was going to be spiritual and somewhat mysterious. The first scene of this show begins with an old rabbi played by Meryl Streep, who was speaking to those present in the synagogue, and the rabbi was attempting to relieve those who had passed away and who had left their loved ones here on earth. In the rows of the synagogue, we get a glimpse of the main characters that begin to emerge throughout the first episode. One thing I found interesting to note is that one scene leads to the next, and the general feeling or atmosphere changes completely. One scene, we are in a respected, peaceful synagogue. To the next one, we're watching a raging lawyer answering phone calls to a woman who's taking pills and speaking to someone who's somewhat familiar to her, but seems like he's no longer physically here on Earth. And what I think the producers are trying to attempt to show is that everyone has something going on in their life, no matter your race, occupation, or marital status, etc. It is important to recognize that. As I mentioned earlier, Joe, who is a clerk and is in the room with his boss, who's the raging lawyer, taking the phone calls. So we get a glimpse of Joe's boss, and his name's Roy, and he seems like a hard worker, but however, he seems miserable. As the scene progresses, Joe's religion is brought up, and his boss just kind of assumed that he was baptized a Christian because he was a white male, and at the time that was pretty common. But instead, Joe's actually Mormon, and his boss actually made a joke saying, "Oh, shouldn't you be in Utah or whatever?" And I think that the idea of assumptions in general lead to people holding back their true self because they don't want to be different and they kind of just want to merge in with everyone. And I think that this is going to be a common theme throughout the series. Later on, the man whose partner has AIDS is confronted with a major issue, obviously. What would you do if your partner or significant other had a disease, infectious disease? What would you do? So he feels that staying with him would go against his morals of being, you know, normally not okay with that kind of thing. And he actually seeks advice from his rabbi, that same rabbi played by Meryl Streep. And basically, the rabbi just told him he can't help him. He's old and good luck, basically. And I think that by seeking advice from someone, as the man did in this situation, um, it was a way for the producers to show that people who are in this situation seek advice many times, but they're often just told to go away or whatever it is, and people just don't want to deal with that. And I think that's what the producers were trying to show, that like this happens and we need to change this. Before wrapping this vlog up, I would like to just note that as the show continues, you begin to realize that Joe is a conservative American while referencing certain political conservative icons like Ronald Reagan. And with that being said, I feel that um, political agenda will be shown throughout the series as a way to show that we really are all one. And with that being said, I will see you guys on Thursday.